everybody. I'm going to try this again. It is Saturday, May 9th. You are cruising with Kelly. It has been a long time. You are looking at me today and not my dirty windshield. You know, considering I have barely drove my car anywhere in the past 40-something days, my windshield is filthy with love bugs. Go figure. I can only think that it was from when I went up to do the photo shoot for the girls last weekend up at the Museum Heritage House. But anyway, so I had to come out and I was looking for a new mop and mop bucket because got a 10-week-old puppy now in my house, and that little Swiffer system will cost me an arm and a leg if that's what I continue to use. So time to get the bleach out again and again and again and again. Yeah, I'm not OCD, but you know, these animals run in and out, and not only that, the puppy is still learning, so gotta keep it real, gotta keep it clean. I wish that I could be OCD and it mattered anyway. My house is lived in like everybody else's, but I have pets. I have a 6-year-old beast. I have a 10-week-old gonna be beast. I have the cats, and oh, by the way, they were all rescues, except for, oh, let me rephrase that. The cats were rescues. My daughter rescued a cat that was pregnant, and we ended up with 3 cats. Long story short, that's the pet life of my zoo. I don't want any more. The puppy and the big dog and one of the cats are the girls, so when they finally get on up, they'll be taking them. And who knows if I get any more. Who knows? It really depends, because eventually I'll probably sell out of my continual maintenance to get into a nice little condo with no maintenance, because this girl is tired of spending her time working, cleaning, keeping up. I just want to chill. I just want to be able to do stuff. And sitting at home in timeout, grounded, that does not count. I hope y'all feel me on that. I am not one to be in one spot at all. So yes, I've been out today. I went out briefly yesterday, but I've been out today. I do mask up. I actually just took it off before I got on the camera. I do keep my hands clean. I try not to touch my face, but because I'm a fidget, and yeah, I take it all pretty serious. So hopefully you are too. Hopefully you are starting to do a little bit more, but you still keep your distance. And don't feel like you're pushed in to have to go anywhere. For real. I mean, if you don't want to walk out and you don't want to be out, don't. That's your thing. Like I said, I had to come over and get stuff. I'm not out here just being frivolous or even going clothes shopping or anything like that. That would be fun. I had to come out and get some necessities, and that's what I'm doing. But while I'm here, I thought I would do my cruising with Kelly, because I haven't been out here all week. I realized that yesterday, and while I had the mojo going, I just didn't have the ambition to, nor did I get dressed to get behind the camera. As anybody knows, I usually have the camera facing the road that I'm driving on. But yes, I try to get up now, try to do me before I do anything, because we never know who we're going to run into. Presentation, perception is everything, right? Not that I really care what you think of me, and I say that with a whole bunch of love, because I don't see anybody knocking down my door saying, hey, you matter, let me make sure everything about you is golden. And I'm not saying that in a facetious way. It is what it is. But I am trying to feel better about myself. You know, like everybody else, we all get in these moods, and I ride that roller coaster sometimes where life is golden. A couple years ago, I was rocking it out. I was dropping the weight, and I just got in a spin somehow that got out of control, and I started putting the weight back on. And then I looked in the mirror one day and said, dang, I'm getting old. But does any of that matter? It does to people, right? It does to our individual egos. So I'm going to cruise for a little bit. I haven't been out and about taking a ride anywhere really, so just because I want to cruise and give give me a chance to talk. But let's talk about stroking our egos or stroking egos of everybody else. Does it really matter? What is your relationship with God? Do you know, honestly, do you know what you mean to Him? Do you know why He gave His Son to die on the cross after being broken and beaten and tormented and tortured and crushed? It wasn't just to save us from the sin that we're going to create, whether we're walking with God or not. We are a sinful nature. We are sinful beings. Humanity is dark, and it can get darker by the day, and it does. But He didn't send His Son down to go through all of that pain and let His blood pour out on the cross just so we could say, oh, I love Jesus. Jesus loves me. I don't have any more sins, so no matter what I do, da-da-da-da-da. That is not what it's all about, people. Love. And I am not an authority of love. I can tell you historically what I felt over my years of growing up and the experience I had when I was in love and what it felt like when others did not love me, or the expectation of what I thought love should have been, and it did not turn out. Even, I can tell you what it's the feeling of peace, and I talk about it all the time. Man, if I could have somebody love me, want me, be with me 24/7, and wash over me from the outside in, filling me from the outside in with the love that I feel from the inside out, that I have found only with Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. There is no stopping anything. Now, yeah, people have their own variations, definitions, and they freely use the word love. I love you, I love you, I love you too. But there's no love like that of what Jesus Christ was, is, and always will be. So, with that being said, when I get in those tangents and I look in the mirror, and today was one of those days that I was like, you know what? Don't put the grunge on. Don't put the sloppy bun up, even though your hair is still sloppy because it needs a really good cut. Just do what you feel reflects how you feel. So I might look a little cute, so I feel cute today. I was like, dang, this grandma still got it. Yeah, a little crazy, right? But there's days and I get up and I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, who is that? Or not even looking at myself, but looking at maybe something I did or something I said or I didn't do or didn't say. And it just makes you feel like you don't know who you're supposed to be. Man, that's crazy, isn't it? But it is what it is. In these times of trial and tribulation, in a world pandemic where there are people, and I apologize for not looking at you, but where there are people dying alone, where there are people that have been alone their entire lives, and all they wanted was one kind word or one kind person to listen. That's the world we live in. Humanity is not so humane. Look at the news. I'm not going to get into the topic of racism, but you know what? Look at the news. We are still a nation. We are still a nation under God that still has so much contempt and hate for our brothers and sisters that all bleed the same. We all bleed red. Now, I reference a lot of music because music is what drives me. Music is what saves me from dark places. Music is what gets me up and gets me motivated. And music, I mean, when I put my headphones on and I start writing, it takes me places that I'm able to release those those thoughts. I don't know about you, but if you don't know anything about music, you don't have to know anything about music, but find things that you love to listen to that motivate you and lift your spirit, because that's what we got to start doing. We need to do it for ourselves, and we need to do it for those around us. We need to have our spirits cleansed and our spirits lifted up. And I've had one hell of a journey in my lifetime. And it's been, oh my gosh, since 1995 that I've been learning who Jesus Christ really was. And I can't even tell you the day that I truly fell in love with him and all he lived, breathed, died, and still exists. The living God still exists for. However, that was a choice I had to make after beating my head up against that wall, after just finding myself lost and then trying to find my way back out again. Now, along that journey, when I finally said, okay, this is it, let me do this, it took me some time to see the light. I mean, there have been many different things, and I'm trying to just speak casually without going and pointing out different things, but there were many different things, many different hurdles and face plants and ups and downs and gains and losses that I myself have went through, to where when I came out the other side, I knew that it was only God that was the one that held me together and got me through it. And I continually refer to the world being a dark place, but you know what? It doesn't have to be. If things are dark, if things are dismal, if there's doom and gloom is everywhere. We can go from happy to sad in 0 to 60 seconds, right? We have to be the light. We have to be the ones that make the change. And we have to be the ones that make the change within us, ourselves. Bear with me. And we have to be the ones that make the change, not for anything with expectations. You cannot put the burden of your happiness on somebody else. It just doesn't work that way. Because if you do, you're going to be broken your entire life. You can go out and lie, cheat, steal, hustle. You can go out and work every single breath you have in your lifetime. You can make an abundance of cash, wealth, material items. And then along comes a pandemic and locks everything down. And in some cases, you can lose it all in one blink, or you can slowly watch it dissipate and not know what tomorrow's going to bring. And now all of a sudden, all that made you, all that materialistic activity and items that made you are no more. And where does it leave you? So I am not saying that all that is not good, because trust me, I work hard. I work a lot harder than I do smarter, for a lot of different reasons, and I've worked my way up through the ranks, and I've been blessed, and I've been at the peak, and I've been in the valley, and who knows if I will end up on either place again. But one thing I do know is that if I don't have God in my life, if I don't know who Jesus Christ is and build that relationship and try to learn who God is and grow with him every day and have him guide me and show me, same thing, talk to me, allow me to see his beauty, or just open my eyes because it's right in front of me, even when I'm looking that I sometimes can't see it. If I don't do the things to purpose forward with him, in him, then I've got nothing anyway. Because he is the one that sustains me. He's the one that sustains you. He is the one that gives us the air in our lungs. And unfortunately, he is the one that allows some of us to no longer have the air in our lungs and die or suffer or be in the dark alone, scared and alone. But we have to cry out to him. We have to demand and do every single thing we can in our power that we are given to stay in that relationship with him. Nobody can do it for us. And does it hurt when we lose those that we care about? Oh, hell yeah. Without a doubt. Today is actually one of my dearest best friend's birthday. She died a couple of years suddenly. Her birthday's a couple of days after mine. And we were tight for more than 30 years. And man, that was hard. The day that I went up to the hospital to be with the family, well, they pulled them off the machine. Man, that was hard. Still thinking about it. She was going to be 65. She was just a couple of days, not even away from her 65th birthday. Just like that. You know, just like the storms of life come, just like the pandemics. All right, so we know that we have a pandemic now. And some people might have known it was coming because that's just the way the world is. And you know what? The world can be a spiritually blessed or spiritually dark world. Either way. Sometimes we get ourselves into things that we shouldn't, and sometimes, more times than not, especially when this thing here is worldwide, and they pointed the finger, and they don't go into all the details, but more and more theories come out. You know, I don't know who, I don't know why, but it is. But just like a tornado suddenly appears and wipes everything out, a flood comes and washes everything away. What is it in your life that matters, that will forever be, that no one can ever take from you? I guess that's the thought that I have today. What is it that you're doing, that you're saying, that you are feeding your spirit with, that no one will ever be able to take away unless you come out and say, okay, it's yours? Just a thought. You know, I say that I come out and say it's yours, because nothing happens to us without our allowing it. We all get to choose, and I say that lightly. All right, for a couple of reasons. One, the reason is we all get to choose. We all make our own choices that impact many. The other thing is, excuse me while I do this. The other thing is sometimes as children, we are exposed to things at the hands of others that we didn't get to choose, but we have to work our way through if we survive through life and make it happen. Now, no matter what it is that's happening or happened, if we're still living and breathing today and we're old enough to make the choices for ourselves, we get to choose to change the darkness to the light. We do. And with that being said, what are you choosing to do? What are you choosing to feed the spirit? I came down here to the water, by the way, so I wanted to see what's going on. And holy smokes, man, we got a ton of people. I am not doing anything to stay, but just got to pay attention here so I know how to get back out. Like I said, I was just coming out here for a ride. But anyway, we can speak life or we can speak death. We can give life or we can give death. Our actions, our words, our motivations, they all feed something. What is yours feeding? What are you feeding off of? Are you allowing this time that everything has been shut down and everything is going wrong, everything is being lost, you lost your job, you lost your house, you lost this, you lost that, are you allowing it to overwhelm you? Or are you clinging to the hope and the faith of Jesus Christ and asking him to show you what he wants next? It is not easy by far. I can assure you of that. Because I've been in those places. And I hope I don't go there anytime soon. Really, I really don't. But the choices that I make, how I'm going to react, what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, sometimes I add my own stress. Sometimes I try to cling to what other people advise me of, or try to make something different happen myself. And in all honesty, all that does is fill me up with things that shouldn't be. Worry, wasted time, feeling that shake from the inside out. Yep. It's crazy and it's hard, but life was never supposed to be meant to be easy, right? Nothing was ever supposed to be free. God gave us life. He gave his only begotten son that died on the cross in love to give us life. That is the freest thing and the most valuable, priceless thing that we will ever have. Do you know that? Do you know him? I am no authority and I am no theologian. I remember a lot of scriptures when I start hearing them, but this old mind, you know what? He has blessed me. He has just blessed me. How long I'll remain blessed? Until the day I go out, because I'm not giving up my Jesus. And fortunate or unfortunate, that's a lifestyle. Fortunate or unfortunate, it makes me have to make hard choices. Really hard choices. Sometimes you just don't want to feel. Sometimes you can't do anything but feel. So on this day that I am just out here talking about different things and cruising on May 9th, taking advantage that I can finally get out and about and just kind of take a ride and talk to whoever wants to listen. It is what it is until it's not, and none of us know when it's not going to be. We all get a timestamp in, we all get a timestamp out, and only God knows what our timestamp out is and when it is going to be. So between the time that we got started now and that unknown period, what is it that you're going to do? No matter if you're at a good spot or a low spot, a bad spot, whatever type of spot you're in, what is it that you're going to do? What is it that you're going to leave as a legacy? What is it that you're going to do to feed your spirit and that of those that are always watching? There's always somebody watching. You know me? I wrote a book and published it in 2000 called Heart and Soul. And I didn't go out of my way and do any marketing because it was for my kids. It was to prove to leave a legacy. We can do anything we put our minds to and work hard for. We truly can. If we can see it, it will happen. And in Christ, all things are possible. So if you put the two of them together, there's no stopping anything, anywhere, for anyone, at any time. Even when we have to pause for a moment, even when we're on a timeout, God may be allowing all of this stuff to take place. It happened millions of years, thousands of years, whatever. Like I said, I'm no expert and I don't have the historical statistics behind me. In fact, I hated statistics class. But bottom line is he knows. And he knows your heart. He knows what you're going through. And he wants you to know your worth in him. And that the fact is that what really matters is that of what the Creator has blessed you to be, not what the world says. We do have to have focus. We do have to have loyalty. We do have to have respect. And we're lacking it. We do need to put God back in every single thing that we do. And God is not about the church building, y'all. Have we not just seen that over these past 40, 45 days? God is with us if we allow him to be. Will you allow him to be? Will you allow him in? Will you start looking at all the beauty that's around you and everything and just let him work in you, with you, for you? Open up your heart, open up your mind, no matter where you are. If things are hard, pray harder, call out to Jesus. Just like the song says, cry out to Jesus. And I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about the love that's waiting for you, about the strength and the courage that he will give you to help you through. Whether you're with somebody or whether you're alone, you gotta know you are never truly alone. You may feel lonely. You may not have a physical person around you in the same building or dwelling or wherever you are, but you are never alone. Call out to Jesus. Ask him to start showing you the way. Tap into music, tap into podcasts, tap into YouTube, tap into movies, tap into the Bible. BibleGateway.com. You got so many different variations that it tells you. If you don't understand what it says in one version, go to the next, into the next, into the next of the same scripture until you get it. There is no excuse for you to sit there and say, I'm all alone. I don't know how I'm going to change. We have to make the change. We have to make the choice to change. And it's not going to be easy. And sometimes we're not going to see it overnight. Sometimes we're not going to see it in 20 years. Sometimes we might not even see it during our duration in the vessels that we have here and now. But it will make a difference. And not only that, when you accept Jesus Christ into your life and you start walking the walk and talking the talk and you have that moral compass in your hand and you don't put it down for not one thing, that doesn't mean you're going to get all pious and go out there and start pointing fingers about everything and everybody. Doesn't mean that you're going to point out everybody else's flaws, because we're all flawed. We're all broken people. We're all a mess waiting for a message to happen. It's going to mean that you're going to do the best you can working on yourself with Jesus and keep putting those feet one in front of the other and moving on up the road, knowing that Jesus has got you, and every single thing that you're going to do from there on out, you're going to do with purpose. And no matter what happens, you're going to have a peace deep inside of you that no one can take. Anyway, that's my take. That's my version. That's my whatever. You know what? Thank you if you've hung with me this whole time for the 27 minutes, 28 minutes. I try to keep it anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes, so I haven't lost my touch. But I do get pretty deep, and I do ramble on, and I talk about things that I am no subject matter expert, but I can tell you I have lived life. I've seen the good, the bad. I've lost some beautiful souls, and I've had to let some beautiful souls go because they lost themselves. But the bottom line is there is nothing in this world worth more than you and the relationship that you will have if you just say, Jesus, I need you. I need you now. Show me the way. Doesn't matter. I don't care what anybody says. It is what it is until it's not, and we don't know when not's going to come a knocking. So until then, on this May 9th, 2020, Mother's Day weekend, Mother's Day tomorrow, any mothers out there that might listen to this, have a safe and blessed, and know you're blessed weekend. And Mother's Day is definitely one for the books. First time this year I've celebrated my birthday done. It was just unique. Nothing like living through a pandemic and being able to talk about it. And even if tomorrow never comes, we had yesterday, and I know where I was and who had me and who will always have me. Until I see you on the other side, may you be blessed. Peace out.